Hey guys, anybody else here have a history of struggling with control issues? Welcome to the club and welcome to this week's sun transit little family forecast for you. I'm coming at you from my favorite place in my city to walk, which is this like 200-year-old plus cemetery, and I'm surrounded by like deer and geese and there's turkeys and woodpeckers, and like church bells dinging in the background. So I just like love this. It's really got me the last few days. Actually, I've been really thinking about my ancestors and learning more about what they endured in this topic of control coming up as a main theme and as something that I've always struggled with, as I said. So the reason this is really on point, and you may be feeling this too, is because the sun's transiting gate 21. If you look on your human design chart, you'll see this in the littlest triangle, like to the right, to the middle right of the chest. That's the heart center, or what we call the will center, or your ego. It's the place in us that tells us you're worthy, you matter, you deserve to be first, and everyone is entitled just by living and breathing and having a meat suit in this lifetime, that we're all given access to abundance. Now, that's hard shit to understand and to actually internalize, especially when we are operating through our lifetimes, carrying the weight of the world and carrying DNA from our ancestors. You know, we're talking epigenetics here. For 5 generations, we carry within our DNA the trauma that our ancestors endured. And so I'm thinking a lot about this now within the framework of this issue of control. So if your ancestors or you yourself grew up in a household or lived in circumstances in under a regime where you were heavily controlled, or your people were heavily controlled, where your resources were taken away, where you did not have sovereignty, where you did not have ownership, or you were not freely allowed to exercise your free will, your to provide for your family, to put yourself first and your needs first, to ensure that the needs of your tribe were met, then you might be suffering from control issues, and it would make a whole lot of sense. Because here's what ends up happening. If we are not in control, then we start to like micromanage these little areas of our lives that actually don't fucking matter that much. We can fall prey to being really, really materialistic, really fixated on money issues and material wealth and our access to what we don't have. And we can feel completely asphyxiated by the need to provide and our lack of ability to do so adequately in our eyes, for whatever expectations those are. And so we start to control other people. We go out of control, putting everything into place exactly how it should be, and we get really attached to the outcome. And if things don't go our way, then we get really mad, and we lose control further, and it just feeds on itself. And so under the influence of the sun, shining rays of gate 21 on all of humanity right now, we all have access to this, not just access to this energy, but we're feeling it. It's being activated in us, whether you see the number 21 activated in your chart, highlighted in your human design chart or not. There's some gigantic geese behind me. Where are they? Can you see? I don't know if you can see them. Anyway, we're all susceptible to this right now, to these feelings of control. What am I in control of? What do I not have control over? The main lesson is to remind yourself that the only thing you have control over is yourself your reactions to things, how you respond to stimuli and to other people coming at you. The only thing we really can be in control of is ourselves. And everything else we can surrender to. Now, that does not absolve us from taking personal responsibility for our actions, right? We can't, this isn't a free ticket to say, well, screw it. I'm not in control, so fuck it. I take no responsibility. So we do have to contribute to our communities and to our families, of course, and provide what we can and distribute resources fairly. That's one of the main traits of Gate 21. If you have this illuminated in your human design chart and you're using it in the highest expression, is this trust and this fairness, trust that resources will flow, the ability to give people what they need when they need them. There is an inherent duty, a sense of duty that has us wanting to be providers and to say, you can trust me. If you just give me some control over all of this abundance, I promise that I will share it freely and give it to the people who need it in the ways that that will be most empowering for them, supportive and nourishing. But if we're out of alignment with this, we're going to turn into micromanagers. I think I've already covered that. This is a rich one. It's also called, the Gate of Control is also called the Hunter or Huntress. And so I like to think of it as animals that are like waiting in the woods for the right opportunity to, the prey walks right at you, to sit quietly, and you wait for your prey to just walk right into your trap and then pounce on it, and you can take that your kill and you can take it home and feed not just your family and not just yourself, but you can feed the entire community for days and days and days, and make lots of different things out of it. I've joined by these, can you even, there's just geese everywhere. They're kind of a nuisance, actually. I don't want them to attack me because they're aggressive. At home, you might be seeing power struggles. Kids they're susceptible to this too, highly. So you're gonna want to give them something to be responsible for. Show them you trust them. Show them that they do have sovereignty over certain things, and just expect that there's gonna be power plays at home, and that's okay, because everybody needs to test their boundaries and to find out in what ways they can be trusted, and to demonstrate that they have responsibility, a sense of responsibility, and that they have a sense of ownership over things, and that they can be trusted. But also, just remember that the message to really drive home is there's a lot happening, and there's a lot of scary things that are outside of our control, that we have no control over. What small thing can you do to make a difference to your community, to support your family, to exercise your own, to prioritize and put into the center your own worth and your own sense of knowing that you matter? Because when we take actions that are outside of our control and try to control other people, and we micromanage the stuff that doesn't matter, we end up hurting people. We end up losing control, and it becomes a cycle that feeds on itself. So just food for thought today and for the next 6 days. As I said, this is March 30th. The sun began its transit in this gate last night. It'll shift into the second line this evening about 8 p.m. Eastern time, and then we have this with us for the next 5-ish days. So this is a big influence on all of us. Hang in there. We can do this. It's going to be okay.